one take, one shot. This is the Raw review where I do it immediately following Raw. No edits, no cuts. This way you get my Raw, pun intended, gut reaction. I give this Raw, it's a toss-up. Is it a 4? Is it a 5 out of 10? I'm not sure. This wasn't necessarily it wasn't like a bad Raw, but it was a very bland Raw. It was like someone boiled chicken and then served it. Mashed potatoes, no butter. It was just kind of like there. It was just kind of there. Like, for instance, Braun Breakker, right? Like, I think a lot of people are going to really like this Braun Breakker segment because Braun Breakker, totally freaks out and he grabs Adam Pearce and throws him into the turnbuckle. Well, he doesn't really throw him, but he grabs him and he, puts him in the turnbuckle and he starts yelling at him and they pull Braun Breakker back. But, honestly, to me, Braun Breakker should have, actually speared him and beat the crap out of Adam Pearce. And maybe Bronson Reed could have held back everybody else because it's I understand. How can you chop? They would have to fire Braun Breakker if that happened. No, they wouldn't. Back in the day, this was before the Attitude Era even. I remember one time there was this guy, Big Van Vader. He attacked Gorilla Monsoon, who was the commissioner of WWE. And it was so oh my God. If Braun Breakker if they would have just went a little further, it would have been so much better. Because Braun Breakker, if he would have killed Adam Pearce, but what happened was this. He threatens Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce not one time got scared. When they finally pulled Braun Breakker off of Adam Pearce was in Braun Breakker's face. At that point, if not sooner, Braun Breakker should have socked him in his face. Oh my gosh. And then they even go backstage later, soon after, but after a commercial break, they go backstage and it happens all again. Braun Breakker is in Adam Pearce's face, but Pearce is nose to nose with them, saying you can't do this, you put your hand on an official, you are done, my friend. Adam Pearce wasn't scared at all, and he did not get beat up. I'm okay with Adam Pearce not being scared, but he should have got laid out. And then you could be like, but Chop, wouldn't they have to fire him for attacking the boss? Yes, but this is the world of wrestling. And Paul Heyman even said, he's like, you just made a mistake. And Adam Pearce is like, what do you mean I made a mistake? He put his hands on an official. And then Paul Heyman was like, yeah, but you did it first. So that's the loophole here. That because Adam Pearce did it first, this is gonna, there's gonna be very little ramifications on Braun Breakker. And that's what we should have done. If Braun would have attacked and laid him out, that would have been so beautiful, so perfect, and then we could have used he's not going to lose his job because you put your hands on him first. I'm telling you, this would have been an amazing segment, but because they did it this way, Braun is all talk now. Again, and this is coming off last week where he was he's like, you're old, CM Punk. You're an old man, and I'm going to destroy you. And then Braun Breakker loses. So Braun Breakker is already this guy that talks a big game, but can't get the job done. And so then the following week on Raw, the GM, the guy who doesn't wrestle, is not even afraid of him to the point that he gets in his face. And then again, Braun Breakker, he makes a lot of threats, but at the end of the day, he walked away. I'm sorry, but no. I don't know if you think this is nitpicking or not, but I've seen it in action. When Vader destroyed Gorilla Monsoon in 95, 96, it was so it was shocking. And if we would have got a spear on Adam Pearce used to be a wrestler. He can take a bump. I'm telling you, it would have been just so much better. But yet we got Braun Breakker, the guy who talks a big game but never follows up. At this point, you're watching in real time as I kind of lose interest in Braun Breakker. Oh man, I love Braun Breakker. I do. He is so good. He is so freaking amazing. I love the dude and how unhinged he is. But I'm sorry. He should have attacked. I stick by that. And it was like, for a moment it was like, oh my God, it's gonna happen, and then it just kind of fizzled out, and I hate it. Now I'm absolutely 100% positive that we can rebuild the momentum of Braun Breakker. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that Braun Breakker is done and he's buried and all this stuff. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that you are making me lose interest in this guy, and I'm sure I'll rekindle that interest. But yeah, it's like it's like when Gunther tapped out to Jey Uso. I still like Gunther to this day. I still like Gunther, but I still think about that. I still think about how he tapped out in 2 seconds at WrestleMania, and now I'm gonna think how Adam Pearce punked him out after he lost to CM Punk. The other big thing on this show that I'm like scratching my head on, they repeated a storyline. Like, they repeated something like three times and 2 times. Who do I mean by that? They had a champion 3 times, 3 different champions come out and say, I want to fight anybody. Like, I'm going to be a fighting champion. We literally had 3 champions do that. And we had two people say to like other wrestlers, hey, you need to step up your game. Like, what are you doing with yourself? One did it as a heel and one did it as a face. I'll explain all right now. So the first time it happens is Io and Rhea. They come out and they lay a challenge. We want to fight anybody. All right, well, we'll talk more about that when we get to the review part. And then we talk to, then CM Punk comes out and he says, hey, I said I was going to be a fighting champion. I want to fight people. And Jey Uso came out during a commercial break just to eat, but he also said that this is a warning to all tag teams that we're on top, we'll fight, we're going to be fighting anybody, basically. And then one time backstage, there was a point when Finn Balor is playing video games and Liv Morgan gets in his face. I thought this was a cool segment, don't get me wrong, but she gets in his face and she's like, I thought you said you were going to carry the Judgment Day on your back. Look at Raquel, she's calling her shot. Look at us, we're calling our shot. What are you doing, Finn? You're playing video games. So Finn Balor then goes, because he was kind of shamed, into like, yeah, I guess I am doing nothing. I need to go and call my shot, and then he will answer CM Punk's call. And then later, Maxine Dupree, she's talking about how she was the Intercontinental Champion. She has another match next week. But then she turns to Otis and Tozawa and say, and you guys can be champions too. You just got to believe in yourself. So she did the same thing that Liv did, but as a face. So here, literally, 3 champions on the same exact show say, come out and fight us. And then two of their opponents are told that you got to do better. 2 like jobbers, unfortunately for Finn Balor, that he has kind of been a jobber lately. Like, they're told you gotta step up your game and go and challenge, call your shot. It's like, I understand repeating storylines. Like, I'm not opposed to repeating storylines, but repeating them 3 times and 2 times on the same show, like, jeez Louise. All right, so let's get into the show. We see everybody walk in, because if we don't see them walk in, then we don't know that they're part in the building. Man, this Raw. How is SmackDown better than Raw? Because SmackDown, go look at my SmackDown. If you're just like, oh, Chop, you're just a negative Nancy, well, go look at my SmackDown review from last week, because I gave that a 9, all right? I gave that a 9. This, I'm doing 4. I'm doing 4. The more I talk about it, it'll be lucky if it's not 3 by the end of this review. But do I got my... yeah, that's on. We're at 11 minutes right now. So Rhea, Io, they come out and they're like, we're the champions and we'll face anybody. And then Liv Morgan, though, comes out. This I love. Liv Morgan did a great job tonight. Liv and Roxanne came out, and it was so, because it's like, because they had such a history, it was like really like refreshing to see it again, because they hadn't like crossed paths really. And Liv is like, so nice to see you. You're looking good. Loved her sarcasm. And they get in the ring and they're talking and they're doing that, right? And then Bayley and Lyra come out. Bayley did a really good job with the crowd. The Europeans love her, and I really loved the interaction between Bayley and the crowd. They come out and they're talking. Eventually, the Kabuki Warriors will take out the Rhea and Io. They pull them out. They throw them against the barricade. There's a 3-way fight. Rhea and Io, they get back in. They clean house, and then it's determined later there will be a triple threat for the #1 contendership for the tag belts at Saturday night's main event. That the tag match was fine, whatever. It was like, I think it was like a 25 minute match. Again, I've said this many times, there's just a lot of bangers on Raw nowadays, but I would rather have three matches. I would rather have 3 matches in the time span of 25 minutes than 1 match on Raw. I like long matches for PLEs, a lot of quick matches for Raw. I think that would get a lot more people over and just keep the pacing going. But whatever. We will you will have, what will you have? You will have Liv and Raquel will win. I think that was a good choice to pick those. I did like that dynamic of Liv and Rhea against each other without having to say it's all about Dominic Mysterio. But it would be kind of cool if maybe Dominic gets involved and does cost Rhea and Io the match at Saturday's main event. I don't know about that. Well, that'd be kind of cool. But they did say respect also. I think respect, it was respect right off the bat. Io said she would beat respect. They beat respect into the Kabuki Warriors. The next segment was AJ Styles talking about how he respected Cena and that Gunther didn't respect anything, and he was going to pretty much beat the respect into Gunther. So respect. If you ever want to get drunk, and I'm not condoning it, but if you ever want to get drunk, just take a swig every time they say respect on WWE programming. Chop, you're so negative. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. I will not be negative when the writing is well, and I will be negative when the writing is not well. I think I'm not. Am I being negative or am I critiquing? Huh? I don't know. But what else we got? The Warriors take out respect. Javon fought Bravo, and this was an okay match, but honestly, my same critique of when he fought Ryo a couple weeks ago, here is the same critique. It should have been quicker. This should have been maybe a 6-minute match. Javon should have won really quick. It should have been a spot fest, and boom, Javon wins. I am not a proponent of spot fests, except for certain wrestlers, and Javon is that wrestler. And Bravo could have hung, because he's really good, even for like an 80-year-old who's been wrestling and since the 70s and was blacklisted for a while. He's still really good. But Javon won. He jumped. He had a spot where he jumped from the barricade over to the table, over Grande Americano, and then they chased him out. So almost the same repeat. Javon, though, definitely has a connection with the crowd. He's very genuine. He seems like a guy who's just happy to be there and having a lot of fun, and it does resonate. There is something about Javon Evans that you do connect with, and like definitely he's like got that underdog. He's got a really good underdog story to be told. We got Jey Uso comes out and says, "Who wants some?" We got CM Punk. CM Punk comes out, and he's talking, and then that's when Finn Balor comes. Finn Balor comes out because I already told you that Liv kind of called him out, and I do like this, but it is kind of like, I just wish we would have built up Finn a little more, because there's no part of me that thinks that he's going to win next week. No part of me thinks that Finn's going to win. However, I mean, I didn't really think Drew was going to win, so you never know. But, Finn comes out, and he did say this. I did like their face-off. As a whole, I liked the face-off. I just didn't like how we got there. But Finn says, "Hey, you said my name when you got that championship. You said my name when you got that championship, and so here I am. Here I am calling my shot." And then CM Punk fired back. He's like, "Man, I said your name 2 months ago. Where you been? where you been? I want to fight. I want to fight Finn Balor, but is Finn Balor still even in there? So it was really, really good. And then Finn reminded everybody, the line starts with me, whether it was Japan or America. I think he said Mexico or Europe, and NXT. Line starts with me. So they had a really good face-off, and it seemed like it was going to happen tonight, but then Finn said, we'll do it next week. And it made sense. This is a good Raw championship match, though. This is a good Raw championship match. I don't think Finn's going to win, which is unfortunate because I would love for Finn to actually win, but I don't think so. And honestly, how he's been portrayed, I don't see it happening. I wouldn't even be mad I'm mad that Finn is treated like a jobber, but if we're just looking at this situation in a vacuum, Finn shouldn't win. I would love it, though, if he did. So we got that. Becky cut a really good promo. It was a video promo. I wish she would have. I don't think Becky needs to do video promos. I would rather her do live promos. Someone like Rhea should do a video promo. Bronson Reed should do a video promo, but Becky should be in person. But maybe she just wasn't in Germany. So it was still a very good promo about how she's the best in the world, and it's not just me saying it. It's also Sports Illustrated, Bleacher Report, and Wrestlechop. She is the best in the world. We got an Intercontinental match next week against Maxine Dupree. We'll see what happens there. Raquel Rodriguez was doing an interview. Raquel Rodriguez, I said she was the best improved wrestler of 2025. I am going to add now superstar. Honestly, she might have been the best superstar. And when I say superstar, I mean someone who can wrestle really well in the ring, has good ring psychology and awareness, but superstar now adds character. Her character is so much better. Her deliverance of her speeches, her interviews, and just how she carries herself, she's the total package now. Raquel Rodriguez is skyrocketing up my favorite list. It's going to be hard soon to know who I want to be my favorites, because Raquel, I really, really enjoyed her. She was mocking the crowd, all these things. Eventually, Stephanie Fakir comes out, and she's in her boot still, and Raquel just kind of limps and making fun of her. And eventually, though, and Stephanie Fakir, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. She's looking into the camera, and she's like, this isn't going to stop me. This is the most passion I've seen from Stephanie Fakir, and I want to see more of that. So finally, I saw some actual emotion from Stephanie, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. But the even better was when Raquel blindsided her afterwards, kicked the boot a couple times, grabbed the strap, and overhead swung it on her boot. That was really good. I liked this. I liked this kind of beatdown. I don't just like a normal beatdown. The beatdown has to have something special in order to make it part story, other than just, they attacked each other. So I loved Raquel attacking that leg over and over again. Stephanie, good job. I was hoping that Stephanie just needed an actual feud rivalry for her to actually bring out some of that character, and it seems like it's starting to happen. So fingers crossed Stephanie gets better as a character, but Raquel, I think she's here. I really hope she wins the belt. I'm really digging Raquel all around now. Microphone, when the camera's on her, whether or not she's the focus, she's still in character all the time. Her wrestling has gotten better. Just really, really good stuff. The Alpha Babes will go to Jey Uso and say, hey, we want a match. Otis and Tozawa, because, Maxine Dupree said, hey, you should go and, you believe in yourself, guys. So Jey Uso is all like, hey, no, I'm not you guys, we're pals. And then Otis was like, no, us. And then Jey was like, all right. And then Jey got really serious. And I like serious Jey. So that's going to happen. Could you imagine Tozawa pins? Tozawa's going to pin Jimmy Uso. But that would be a good reason for Jey to crash out if he got pinned by Tozawa. Could you imagine? Jey would that crash out Jey right there. Then we got this was rough. Penta and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed and Austin Theory versus Penta and Super Dragon. This match was whatever, and it's just the Vision has no momentum really. they like, why are they even together? It's like, I just don't feel this. Bronson Reed beat the Tribal Chief in like October, and now he's like struggling to defeat Dragon Lee. No shade, Dragon Lee, but like, come on, man. And Austin Theory, this guy's the masked assailant of Survivor Series War Games, and just nothing. Big deal. Like Michael Cole keeps saying, oh, Logan Paul, he's a full-timer now, and Logan Paul doesn't do nothing except for stand on the outside as well. There's a matchup, and eventually this is where Braun Breakker spears Dragon Lee, causing the match to be a DQ, so the Vision can't even beat Dragon Lee and Penta. They have to get just DQ'd. And then Michael Adam Pearce comes down, yells at Braun Breakker. We kind of already went all over this. And then I don't really think anything much happened. I told you about the triple threat already. Did I tell you about the triple threat? It was the Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra and Bayley and Liv and Raquel. Nothing much happened here. Feels like I got a booger. If I got a booger, I apologize. But we're all adults, right? If I had a booger, would that make this video suck? Like, just don't look at it. Put me on mute. I can't blow my nose because it's a one take, one shot. But no, oh man. We're adults, right? Okay, so Lyra, no. Liv and Raquel won. I already said that. The only other thing that I can think of that happened was we have our final match. Gunther versus AJ Styles. This was a good match. It was a good match. No real problems. AJ wanted to make Gunther tap, so he kept putting him in the calf crusher. And so this was awkward. I know what WWE was trying to do, and I give them credit for trying. It didn't come across well, and I think that's because they were on the wrong camera shot. So I'm not going to say everything sucked because this was done wrong, but it was like kind of like the first time they did this. So like I applaud WWE for trying, but it was a fail at the same time. It's okay to fail when you're trying hard to do something good. And that's what they did. So what happened was the matches back and forth, and the referee is over here, and Gunther slides his hand and he taps out on AJ Styles' like thigh. And AJ's like, I won. And the ref's like, no, you didn't. And AJ doesn't understand what's happened. The ref is like, nope, they didn't win, even though the bell never rang. And even Michael Cole's like, what's going on? And then Gunther low blows, and he will eventually get the pin on AJ Styles. And then they show a different camera angle, and you see that Gunther did tap out, but only to AJ Styles. So it implies that Gunther knew what he was doing. He tricked AJ, he hid the tap out to make AJ release. And then the ref never saw it because he was like way on the other side. And so the problem here was just the wrong camera angle. If the audience at home could have seen, and Michael Cole could have seen the tap out, then Michael Cole could have been like this whole time, because he was just like, I don't understand what's going on. But if Michael Cole would have seen the tap out, because the camera was at a different angle, Michael Cole could have been like, yes, he did it. He tapped out the guy who tapped out John Cena. And then the ref could have reversed the decision, and then it would have deflated everything, right? It would have deflated everything. And then Gunther could have won. So literally, it was because of bad camera angle that this didn't land. Because even I was like, what's going on here? So I don't fault this. The reason why I don't fault this is because they tried something new. And not always does something new work. But you never get anything new if you don't try something new. So A for effort. It was a failure to launch, I guess, this thing here. So anyways, but it was a good match, and this will probably lead to a Royal Rumble showdown. Hopefully I'm not fuzzy right now because my TV's turned off. A Royal Rumble showdown, and maybe another match at Mania. They definitely should have one more match, or maybe meet at the Elimination Chamber or something like that. We should definitely do more of this, or wait till the end of the career. No, I don't want. Honestly, I don't know if I want Gunther to be a career killer. Because if Gunther is a career killer, that means no matter what, we know everybody's last match. I'd kind of like to be able to have different kinds of last matches. But I do understand why we have a once in a lifetime opportunity to make a career killer. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a different video. That's my Raw review. Even though it came on at 1 p.m. Eastern, or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I yawned 7 times, and I give it 1, 2, 3, 4 chops. I'm just giving 4 chops. Probably deserves 3, but yeah, that's my review. Sorry it wasn't more positive, but if you want to see a positive review, go check out SmackDown. All right, boys. All right, girls. See ya. Bye.